Dawangjing village in the outskirts of Beijing welcomes visitors with the One World, One Dream Olympic slogan. Most of the Olympians drove right by it on their way into Beijing from the airport. If they'd gone beyond the fancy new Olympic gate, they would have seen what life is like for the capital city's millions of migrant workers. They've come from around the country to do construction work and menial jobs. Fruit vendors are crammed next to open-air shops. Pork carcasses sit in the sun. Garbage is dumped in the street. Residents do their laundry at the communal pump. This is where Tibetan street hawker Ishu Juoma and her son live. 4 years ago, Zampa, as she calls herself, came to Beijing from her impoverished farming village to earn a living selling trinkets on the street. I invited her to come watch an Olympic event. I didn't realize just how big a deal this was for the widow and her son until I arrived early in the morning. Zampa had woken her son at 4 a.m. to bathe him and dress him in his finest clothes. Zampa then asked me if it would be okay if she put on her best Tibetan dress. Sure, I said, though we both had misgivings. Before the Olympics, the government banned all street vendors. It thought that would give the city a better image. So Zampa went to a newly opened mall to try to find a job cleaning and washing dishes. But when she showed up in her Tibetan robe, the other janitors sneered at her. One of the workers said she wouldn't be taken seriously as a cleaning lady dressed in her ethnic clothing. Another cursed her when he found out she was Tibetan. She didn't have the required national ID card, so she couldn't get a job. Zampa said after the Tibetan unrest earlier this year, even ordinary people had turned hostile. So though neither of us said so on our Olympic morning, we were both nervous about Zampa going to the Games as a proud Tibetan. On the way, we ran into crowds and chaos. Then it started to drizzle. Despite all, 8-year-old Gong Zhizong was exhilarated. Neither he nor his mom had ever seen field hockey before. At the game, Gong Zhizong had a lot of questions. Like, why didn't the Japanese team dress in kimono, like Japanese do on TV? His favorite part was when the Olympic mascots called Hua came out. Zampa received some compliments from the crowd on her jewelry and headdress, and foreign and Chinese tourists wanted to take their picture. Gong Zhizong was juiced. He broke into Tibetan dance, and later asked his mom for roller skates so he could compete in next year's Olympics. For Zampa, it was a thrill of a lifetime to go to the Olympics. She was delighted her fear of being unwelcome was unfounded. But on the way home, reality started to set back in. Zampa still has to figure out how to keep food on the table until the games are over, and she can get back to work.